Hello, ladies and gentlemen, I'm Dreamality and welcome to my review of Monster Hunter World. This being my first Monster Hunter, consider this a newcomer's perspective. Is this game worth your money? Is it worth your time? This is a great game, a very easy yes from me. If you do not mind a grinding-centric experience, well then clear your schedule, grab a weapon because we're going on a hunt. Let's begin this review by breaking down the story.
So, tell me, what's your theory? The Elder Dragons must migrate to the New World for some reason.
The main story took me about 40 hours to complete. I really took my time with it and went off the beaten path very often. Here's the basic premise of the story. There is an elder dragon known as Zora Magdaros. The Research Commission hopes that by studying Zora, they can answer this question. Why do elder dragons travel to this island once every decade? A majority of the story is told through text, so dust off your monocle and get to reading. There are a ton of cutscenes throughout the story. The highlights for me being the ones that featured monsters, those were fun, they're well done. The ones that solely focused on the humans were great for helping me catch up on my sleep. Talk about unlikable, flat, boring characters. More than anything, the story feels like an excuse to go from one location to the other. Go from hunting this monster to hunting this one. I am happy the game has a story. It may not be very good, but it is bearable. At the very start of the game, you customize your character. There's a fair selection of customization options to choose from. The adorable creature you see before you is known as a palico. You can customize its appearance, name it, and it will accompany you on your journey. Consider it your new best friend. It will attack monsters, it will get attacked by monsters, taking the heat off you. Throughout a battle, palicos will even heal you. I enjoy the palicos, I think they're a great addition to the game. There are 14 base weapons to choose from. They do play differently, so experiment and find one you like. By mashing one of the attack buttons, you're locking yourself into a combo, which is great for when the opportunity presents itself to inflict as much damage as possible. But if you get carried away, you're mashing the attack button, you're locked into this combo. The monster's gonna show you who's boss. You also have to keep an eye on the items in your inventory and figure out when is the best time to use them. You can even use the environment to your advantage. Mounting is a new feature that's a lot of fun. On top of all of that, it also helps to learn the attack patterns of the monsters. Sure, there's some level of strategy involved here, but I wouldn't call this a complex fighting system, nor is it the flashiest. It has grown on me quite a bit though, I find it fun. Currently in the game, there are about 31 large monsters and 17 small monsters. Attacking any of the large monsters turns into a boss fight. They all play differently. Some of them will light you on fire, some of them will paralyze you, poison you, freeze you, make you take bleeding damage. Monsters roam the maps, and when two come into contact with each other, they can trigger a turf war. People, that means you get a front row seat to a colossal battle. It is awesome when it works. These turf wars consist of more attacking the air around your opponent instead of actually attacking each other. It's very robotic and it breaks the immersion for me completely. When it did work, I never got tired of seeing it. There's a lot of potential here and I hope they stick with it, build on it, and bring it back in the next installment better than ever. Just about every main story quest introduces you to a new monster. You have 50 minutes to complete each mission. 50 minutes to hunt and kill one monster. If it's only one monster, it shouldn't take that long, right? Oh, these battles take a while. On average, it would take me about 20 minutes to successfully complete a mission. You can't pause the game, so you really need to invest the time into a session. Only once did I almost exceed the time limit. A more realistic problem is the fact that if you die 3 times, you fail the mission. The pacing early game is very slow. The early monsters felt like they took too long to kill. I was hoping every single swing would be my last. It would drag on. It wasn't satisfying, it didn't feel rewarding. After the first couple of hours, I finally started having a great time and the game sold me. The battles do follow a similar pattern. Find the monster, attack the monster, weaken it, it runs off. Find the monster, attack the monster, weaken it, it runs off. Rinse and repeat. The monsters will even show visible damage. For example, you can slice off their tails. Once the monster is nearing death, it will start limping away to return to its nest. It'll fall asleep and hope today isn't its last day. You kill it, you collect its materials, and now you're one step closer to making that awesome gear. By collecting materials, you can craft weapons, you can can craft armor for your character. You can even craft armor for your palico. Because specific materials are required to create gear, perform upgrades, you will be grinding a ton in this game. Personally, I found the grinding to be rewarding and fun in itself, so I didn't mind it at all. The mission board is where you'll find your missions. The main quest covers the main story. There are side missions. Event quests offer a specific mission for a limited time. After a certain amount of time, these are refreshed. Expeditions allow you to free roam one of the 4 maps. If you want to hunt a monster in the free roam, once you start attacking it, you have a limited time to kill it before it flees the area, a new one takes its place, and you have to start all over. That can get very aggravating. Overall, I found the gameplay to be very fun. The battles with these monsters would get tense. There is a small separate hub from the main area where you can see other players. If you want to play with another person, you must go up to the mission board and join their quest. You can respond to their SOS. The only way somebody can join your mission is if you select that option when you post the mission. Unless you select that option or you join somebody else's quest, you will never find another player roaming the map. It's not one of those games. With the addition of every player, the difficulty increases. A party can consist of up to 4 players. As soon as you hit 3, everyone loses their palicos. For the missions, you all share 3 lives. The multiplayer worked well, and because you can join a random person's quest or a friend's quest, it adds a ton of replayability. Replayability is very high. I have been playing the game so far for over 50 hours. The main story is just the tip of the iceberg. There is a crazy amount of endgame content here to keep you busy. This is a complete game. Regardless if I'm playing by myself, with random people, or with friends, I have been having a great time. The exception being the Zora missions. They feel very out of place in this game. Very boring, very lazy, not fun at all. I have been playing on the PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 4 Pro. Performance has been great. The camera at times can be a little crazy. There are settings you can fiddle around with for that auto lock. If you want to use the auto lock, I recommend right off the bat to get rid of the locking on small monsters option. For example, one time instead of locking on the dragon, I've been chasing and battling for the past 15 minutes. The game kept insisting the immediate threat was a mosquito off in the background because, you know, that makes sense. That was the last thing I wanted to see at that moment. Just turn off the option. Regarding the graphics, I want to say some of these monsters look fantastic, and then you have the group that received little to no love, but for the most part, a lot of them look really good. Not only does the human armor look awesome, but that palico armor looks awesome. I don't think the environments look amazing, but visually I do find them appealing. I enjoyed exploring all of the maps. I think the game does a great job of selling its world through its ecosystem. It's very cool to see monsters roaming the map on their own, forming in groups, or hunting other monsters. Personally, this is another area I would like to see built on in future installments. The game doesn't feel empty. Even when there aren't any monsters around, there are tons of crafting materials all over the place. It gives you the incentive to explore a bit. Mission accomplished. You have made it to the conclusion. Well done. Monster Hunter World is a great game, a complete game, a game filled with content. I have been playing for over 50 hours. There's so much stuff to do endgame that I can easily double my time. The gear is awesome, hunting the monsters is fun, and so I do not mind the grind. My biggest complaint would be the first couple hours are very slow, but if you get past that, that's when the real fun starts. There is definitely room for improvement. The camera is a little crazy, the story could be better. If I could choose only one improvement though, it would be the turf wars. I think there's a lot of potential there. In what world is it not awesome to have 2 monsters going head to head right in front of you? If you don't mind grinding, if the game looks fun, this is an easy recommendation for me to give. For me, it was worth it. Lots of fun, lots of content, big bang for your buck, highly recommend it. You have heard my thoughts. Now it's time to share yours. If you have played the game, veterans of the series, how does this one compare to past titles? What is up, fellow newcomers? How are you liking the game? If you haven't played the game, I would love to hear your thoughts too. I hope this review was helpful. I hope it was enjoyable. If you have any questions, feel free to ask down below. I will do my best to answer them. And of course, thanks for watching. Alright, I hope everyone enjoyed the video. If you missed my last video, I reviewed Dragon Ball FighterZ. A beautiful game, a fun game. Thank goodness that story mode wasn't 40 hours. Shadow of the Colossus is the next game I'm reviewing. This game has been on my must playlist for a while now. I missed it back on the PlayStation 2, missed it on the PlayStation 3. I guess third time's the charm. Okay, I think that's about it. I will see you all soon, and thanks again.